Welcome back. And as we earlier said, that Egypt becomes, when it comes to winter season, Egypt becomes one of the top destinations for visitors to spend their vacations here in Egypt, anywhere. So many charming spots. And of course, talking about winter and touristic sites, we're very delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Elhamy Zayat, our tourism expert. Good morning, Mr. Zayat.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thanks.
Let's first talk about the preparations for the season, the winter season, to be prepared for visitors coming over to spend their winter holidays all over Egypt.
Yes. Well, as you may know, this will start in February due to this school vacation in Europe, and Europe being the main supplier of business for Egypt. So the school vacation starts in February, and accordingly the high season starts in February with the culmination in April during Easter. We do expect a lot of visitors for several reasons. Number one, and we start, which is the most important, some airlines have resumed operation to Egypt from Europe, and some have increased their frequency, which means they fly more often than they used to fly. And there are new carriers coming in to Egypt to service Sphinx Airport, which means we will have enough air link to allow passengers to be carried from Europe to Egypt. I'm not neglecting the Far East, but I'm saying these are the bulk, and this is very, very crucial. Plus, we have, of course, all the connections coming from South America, the United States to Egypt, and this makes another bulk coming in. We are not neglecting also the Arab tourism that will start by January 15 or 20th with the mid-year vacation, and this also represents a good bulk. So Egypt is attracting many tourists from all over the world, and Cairo will attract more tourists than last year, and that's good because we have all what keeps people happy. People can go out, they can go to malls, they can go shopping, they can go having good time in nightclubs, in discos. So all this makes it a very, very attractive destination for all ages and all sexes.
Right. The British newspaper The Sun have mentioned Egypt or listed Egypt among the best touring destinations for this winter. If you like to elaborate.
Yes. Why is it among the top destinations? As I mentioned, number one is connectivity. It's there, and it's in the middle of the route. It's middle of everywhere. Two, because it has many attractions. I mean, you can go for Quranic visit, to Muslim visits, to Christian visits, to Jewish visits. You can have everything. The Holy Family is creating a lot of interest. Some of the sites, of course, not all of them. And of course, the hotels. We have a very, very good choice of hotels now available all over Egypt. We have to add this, the new airport, as I mentioned earlier, Sphinx Airport opened for the public, which will make visits to the pyramid area easier. I'm not mentioning the new museum for the time being, but it will come later. Now, we also have the Museum of Civilization. This is an absolute must now to visit because, first of all, it gave back the prestige to the kings and queens' mummies. I mean, if you visit them now, it's not like they were on the third floor of the old museum. It's completely different. It's really dignified and it's very impressive when you go down and you visit and you see it. Plus, it gives you Egypt to all ages, from antiquities, 15,000 years BC, until today. So it's a review of all Egypt history, plus, of course, modern Egypt. Now, we are not neglecting the Egyptian Museum. We are not neglecting Luxor, Aswan, and Luxor and Aswan, with all what it has to attract. So we have the Nile cruise. Many of them have been prepared and are now functioning. I don't say all of them, but many of them enough to be filled by foreigners during the normal school vacation time and by Egyptian by mid-year vacation starting the 25th of January until the 15th or the 6th, 7th of February. So we have until the month of June, we will have a lot of activity. Then activities will drop a little bit until the 15th of July. Then we'll start another big season of travel to Egypt. And it's good that there is the interruption in the meantime so that people can install what they have to view the hotels, etc. And at the same time get ready for the new peak, which is summer peak. Not before we used to have Egypt was attractive in winter only, but today because of the variety of the destinations within Egypt, of the variety of the activities you can perform, you can see Egypt is a year-round destination for many, many nationalities. You'll be surprised that Australians, New Zealanders, Americans, Canadians come in summer. French will not come in summer, but they are replaced immediately by other people. So this is good. We have an attraction for everybody, for everyone. And it's not strange that we are listed among the best destinations available now.
Right. What type of tourists would come over at the winter season to Egypt? Because for each season there is a different type of tourist.
Correct. The tourists that come in winter, they come for two reasons, either for the Red Sea or for historical, and I don't say cultural, I say historical. And it's important to differentiate between cultural and historical. Unfortunately, we do not have a calendar of events, of cultural events. Before we had a calendar of cultural events, but now it's up to the Ministry of Tourism to re-establish cultural events using the Opera House, for instance, the performance they have, which are very good quality, because people would like to come for culture as well, to see films. We have film festival, we have the French Film Festival, and we have other things. I mean, we have things that there is no calendar for it. So the next objective will be to set a calendar so people overseas and say, okay, I'm coming to see the pyramids, but I also will attend the opera performance on such a day. And this could be done. It's easy because we have all the assets to do it. So that's for the Cairo, Luxor, Aswan. And besides, if you go to Luxor now, you'll be surprised by the new number of restaurants available in Luxor. So Luxor, before, you used to go to the hotel and have your dinner at the hotel, and that's it, the end of the day. But now you can go out, you can go to restaurants, you can go to see some attraction. Of course, the sound and light has always existed. The same for Aswan. And so we really have a variety of things that can keep people busy.
Right. What are the new initiatives or plans or strategies set by the Ministry of Tourism for 2023 winter season?
Well, so far they have taken the marketing plan, the old marketing plan, which was established by the previous minister, and they are trying to implement it. So this addressed, of course, the main center that could supply Egypt with tourism. And we will have different types of films, but we'll add also something very new, and that's important, which is social media. Social media is cheaper and can reach many more people, can reach many more people at a much cheaper rate, and it can reach the people you want to reach. I mean, if you want to reach the people who are interested by history, you can go to university alumni and bombard them with mail, social media, whether any type of it. So and they will see it. And then you can determine whom you want to address the message to. It's not like the television or the radio. It's at a certain time. This one is continuous. You can see it anytime you wish. And it's, the cost is very minimal. And of course, there are many other things, like you choose people who have a lot of followers and use them. And I think this will be done, definitely. So
Right.
if they say Egypt is good, so they will come to Egypt.
Right. On this note, Mr. Elhamy Zayat, the tourism expert, would like to thank you very much, sir. You have a beautiful day. And by this, we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. Many thanks to all of you until we see you again tomorrow morning. That's a goodbye.